Well, I mean, they say they never use the word Nazi. We prove otherwise. Then you've got they want to offer everything for free. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't the Senate hold a vote last week about funding the military and a vote today to keep SNAP benefits around for 42 million Americans? And the Democrats voted no?
Yes. And I listened to your monologue, Sean, with all of these different characters. I thought to myself, even duct tape can't fix stupid. I don't know Ms. Wallace. I watched her a little bit. I remember when she worked for President Bush. I suppose she's not as bad as some members of the liberal media, but that's faint praise. That's like it's like being the smartest person on The View. I'm going to give Ms. Wallace the benefit of the doubt and assume that she said what she said right after her morning beer. The Democrats have accused the President Trump of everything except abandoning his children to wolves. They daily call him a racist and a Nazi. The Democrats are angry. They're angry for two reasons. They're angry because President Trump won the election. The American people spoke. My Democratic colleagues need to just drink a big old glass of get over it and let's move on. They're mad, number two, they're mad that the American people are mad about the shutdown. It was so needless. I voted 13 times to open government back up. The Democrats have voted 13 times to keep it shut down. They don't want to pay food stamps. They don't want to pay the military. They want to use this as leverage to gain more money to spend. Senator Schumer, my colleague, greedily wanted to become the face of the shutdown. I was looking at a poll today of what the American people think of Senator Schumer. It was an Economist YouGov poll, which is very left of center. The American people, in the American people's opinion, Senator Schumer he's a wet match in a dark cave. He polls right up there with clubbing baby seals. He's got a 30% approval rating, a 60% disapproval rating, and 10% of folks polled just didn't want to pause their video games to answer. It's not working. The American people may not read Aristotle every day, but they get it. This is not a policy shutdown. This is a political shutdown. And I keep waiting for my Democratic colleagues to come to their senses.
So there's a group called Welcome. They consulted hundreds of thousands of voters. They did this over 6 months. And what they found is 70% of voters think the Democratic Party's out of touch, that they're prioritizing LGBTQAI plus over and the rights of criminals over law and order and safety and security and secure borders. They voted against the largest tax cut in history. They voted against cutting taxes on tips and overtime and Social Security. They think it's, democracy in action to pay more money for gasoline, which is the lifeblood of our economy. They're on the wrong side of every issue, but these are 80, 20, 90, 10 issues. There's been no reflection, introspection, or course correction. So I don't see them changing. And now if you look at the front runners for president, you got Buttigieg, Kamala, Gavin, AOC. Is that the future of this party now?
Well, I don't think they have a future until they stand up to the loon wing of their party. The loon wing, though, the socialist wing is in control. They're about to elect Mr. Mondani mayor of New York. And this group, we remember them from the Biden days when they had influence with President Biden. They hyperventilate if you use the wrong pronoun. They think Abraham Lincoln and George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and Dr. Seuss and Mr. Potato Head are a bunch of racists. They think children ought to be able to change genders at recess. The American people don't think that. And many Democrats don't. I want to be fair. but the Loon Wing does, and they're in control.
Well, I mean, who are the ones except for John Fetterman speaking out?
None. There
you go.
Because
okay.
they're scared. They're scared. They're not scared of Senator Schumer. They're scared of Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. And sooner or later, well, I don't know what's going to happen, Sean, but as a Republican, this is probably good for Republicans, but I think it's bad for the country. I believe in competition, and I think New York is the greatest city in the world, and I don't want to see it ruined. But sometimes
it was the greatest city in the world.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to let God take care of it, because if you take care of it, you'll end up in jail. I mean, there's some things you just can't change.
Well, we appreciate it.